With the help of the Swindon Society, we're stepping back in time to Swindon of yesteryear, to the area from Rodbourne to Rodbourne Cheney. Well, let's start with a picture taken back in 1910. It's Rodbourne Road. It shows a picture of the railway workmen on their way home to lunch, blocking the road as well as the raised pavement. In fact, there was just a level crossing here until 1890. Although even Swindon had been well developed by then, the children went to the school in Church Place, so they too had to cross the main railway line until even Swindon School was opened. The year is 1912, and this is number 2 Rodbourne Road. Still a branch of the Co-op on the corner of Hawkins Street. It had occupied premises on the other side of the road until the year before. The staff all dressed in the whitest of white aprons. This is Nash's Sweet Shop in Rodbourne Road in 1914. Mrs. Hughes and her daughter Doris are in the picture. Mr. Nash, who was a wholesale confectioner, gave each of his 4 daughters a sweet shop as wedding presents. Mrs. Hughes made delicious ice cream, even during the war years. The shop is now a pharmacy. Or jumping forward to 1955, believe it or not, this is the Bruce Street Bridge, too low to allow the trams or double-deck buses through, so they terminated here until the bridge was reconstructed in the 1960s. Now on this site there are 2 bridges and 4 traffic islands to cope with the traffic to West Swindon. Here's the off-licence in Rodbourne Road on the corner of Iffley Road, seen in 1955. It was built as a public house to be called the Duke of York, but wasn't granted a licence, a time when it was considered there were too many public houses in the town. This building is still an off-licence today. However, some became working men's clubs which carried different licensing rules. The year is 1960, and this is the primitive Methodist church in Rodbourne Road, known locally as the Tin Chapel. Purchased from the army as temporary premises before World War I, it was used until its final demolition to build the sheltered flats, now known as Iris Redmond Gardens. It's the 1930s, and we cross over the North Wilts Canal Bridge from Rodbourne Road into Cheney Manor Road. The junction immediately to the right is Ferndale Road. The pavement's looking newly laid, and the trees are mere saplings in this view. The 1928 borough boundary is at the extent of the picture. Well, here's a view that evokes the thoughts of secluded country villages. Cheney Manor Road wound its way towards St Mary's Church and was the only route until 1928, when Vicarage Road was built as a more direct route. Well, this is now the busy traffic island in front of Rodbourne Cheney Church at the junction of Acres Way, Beach Avenue and Cheney Manor Road. The hall on the left was taken down and repositioned when the road was widened in the 1930s. It's It's the 1930s, and we're looking towards the Rodbourne Arms and Rodbourne Cheney School before the road was widened and the pavements laid. The old route of what was a country lane can clearly be seen. Today there's a constant flow of traffic along this busy artery towards the town. And finally, still in the 1930s, a view looking back in the opposite direction. Cheney Manor Road with the Rodbourne Arms to the left and Morden Road Junction to the right. The small co-op grocery branch in the centre of the picture has been recently extended into a large supermarket. And no longer a T-junction. This is the location of another of the town's many roundabouts. That's a look back to yesteryear, thanks to the efforts of the Swindon Society, continuing to bring us a glimpse of Swindon through the years.